high school facility to us. To Mayor Masters, thank you for having us in your beautiful city. To also City Commissioner Pardo, thank you so much for all that you have done. And to each and every one of you, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. And Commissioner Davis, who is coming down, thank you so much. And you know, Riviera Beach does have a little bit of a special place for me. You know, right along with Deerfield Beach. You know, when I first retired down here, I taught high school at Deerfield Beach, and then I also almost had the opportunity to be the city manager here at Riviera Beach. So this is an important town, and it was very important to me to find that common ground so that we could bring the Riviera Beach Yacht facility here at Riviera Beach, because I believe that we can make this a jewel piece. I believe that we can bring economic prosperity here to the citizens of Riviera Beach and make this a center point. And show how we can have the private-public partnership in making life better for the citizens here in this great city. And I think that the future is ahead for this great city, and you can count on me to always be an advocate, and all the efforts that you need, I will be a voice for you. So thank you so much. The reason why we're here. When I ran, I made a commitment. And that commitment is that each and every month that I will come back and I would speak with the constituents, and I would be before you, and I would tell you, you know, what have we seen in the previous month? Because I think it's so important that we can make sure that the voting electorate is informed and educated about the things that are happening up in Washington, D.C. Because right now we're facing some of the most critical issues that you will ever see this country will be facing. And I think that we have to have individuals that do understand, as you said, that our founding fathers meant for people to go to Washington, D.C. to be servants, and be citizen legislators, and truly be representatives. And that's what I seek to be, and we will continue to do this every month, to come back and meet in various locations in Palm Beach and also Broward counties, and I look forward to coming back here to Riviera Beach. So next slide. Okay, our district offices. Up here in Palm Beach, we have the district office that's located on Dixie Highway, just south of the intersection of Belvedere and Dixie. So if you have any concerns, please come by there. Our staff is there every day. And if you're down in Broward County, our office down there is in Fort Lauderdale, right off the intersection of I-95 and Cypress Creek, in the Giant Bank building, right off of Andrews Avenue. So once again, please come by. If you are there, we are here to serve you. And what I tell people is that, you know, I really don't get hung up about congressional districts, and especially when it comes to taking care of our veterans. We're there to do what is necessary to make sure that we hear your concerns. Next slide. This congressional calendar, I always like to show this to let people know the shaded parts are when we are in session. And as you can see, this is where we are. We have a full week that we're down here in our respective congressional districts. I'll head back up on Monday, and then we got the little Memorial Day that I look forward to being down here in the district and celebrating Memorial Day, because we must always remember the men and women that have sacrificed so we can have our freedom. Okay, these are my committee assignments, and you know, I am very privileged to sit on the Armed Services Committee, which I think after 22 years, you know, in the United States Army, that'd be a no-brainer. One of the things we just went through last week, if you live a very boring life, you would have seen us on C-SPAN. We started at 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We finished Thursday morning at 3 o'clock. And that was what they call the markup, the preparation of the National Defense Authorization Act, the Defense Appropriations Bill. That's basically what it is. So this is how we're going to fund our military, to make sure that our men and women have the best possible equipment, and also for the services that go to our men and women, being their health services and things of that nature. And I'll talk about some other things on that a little bit later. Then the other thing you see is the Committee on Small Business. And I couldn't ask for a better committee to be on. Because when you drive through this district from Fort Lauderdale Airport all the way up to Jupiter Inlet on Federal Highway, you see all of those closed storefronts. We have got to get small businesses back open and back operating. That's the economic engine in the United States of America. And if we don't set the conditions for them to be able to grow and hire Americans, then we miss it the boat. And I think you'll see a piece of legislation that we have out there right now that will help that. Next slide. Some of the major legislation over in the past 30 days that we worked on. Here, We've got to reduce the spending and the growth of the federal government. That's why I voted against this healthcare exchanges being down at the state level. You know, when you look at the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, it will produce 159 new government agencies and bureaucracies. And that means just an incredible growth of the government. And, you know, people have to understand, who funds the government? Okay. And remember what I said, we have got to get our small businesses going again. So if we are taking the money out of your pockets, we can't have the investment, we can't have the ingenuity, we can't have the innovation. You know, we can't have places like Riviera just growing if we have a bigger entity growing. Now, the other vote here, this was a time when I voted against my party. I was one of 4 Republicans that voted against this because I just did not see why we needed to be concerned about taking funds away from the construction of school-based healthcare centers. And so that's why I did it. Took a little heat from it, but that's okay. Because I think the thing is that each and every one of you sent me to Washington, D.C. to read legislation and to be able to make an assessment and be able to come back and articulate the reason why I voted against it. $100 million over the course of 10 years is not a drop of water in the ocean. Especially when you know that the GAO sent out a report back in February and March that said there's about $200 billion of duplicative programs in Washington, D.C. That's where the focus should be. And that's why I was one of those 4 individuals that broke camp and voted against this legislation. Here's another big thing that we've got to do. Some of you all may have seen already on the news that I spent a little time at a gas station down in West Palm Beach. If we don't get serious about our energy independence, if we don't get serious about producing, consuming, and maybe even exporting the full spectrum of our energy resource in the United States of America, how many of you all remember back in the late 70s when we had the Saudi oil embargo, and some of us were out there on those even days and those odd days based upon the number on your tag? We created an agency called the Department of Energy back then, and the Department of Energy had one mission: to make the United States of America energy independent. That was the whole purpose of creating the Department of Energy in the late 70s. And here we are almost 40 years later, and we still have not gotten there. We have resources available to this country. And let me tell you the danger. Cuba has oil leases that they're already selling. And they're being bought up right now by a Spanish group called Repsol. And if you ever get a chance, and you can visit with the 7th District Commander of the Coast Guard, Riviera, he will show you that those leases are about 10 miles from the international waterline of the United States of America, which means from Florida. And with the new technology called slant drilling, you can offset an oil rig, and up to 40 miles, you can slant drill into the outer continental shelf of the United States of America. Now, the other thing that you have to be concerned with is that the depths that Repsol is looking at drilling are deeper than what the Deepwater Horizon was. Now, if there is a catastrophic event, a slick will go right into the Gulf Stream, and it will come right to ground zero, Congressional District 22, which has 75 miles of pristine beaches and the 3rd largest reef system in the world. If someone is going to do the drilling off the coast of the United States of America, it should be us, because we're the ones we need to have the revenue sharing that comes to this state so they can improve the way of life for the citizens of this great state of Florida. Next slide. Some of the co-sponsoring legislation that I've done here recently, things on budget and tax reform. This is a bipartisan piece here with Representative Richardson, Connie Mack here in Florida. Next slide. National security, bipartisan here with Representative Ted Deutsch. We're going to talk about this Pakistan thing here in a little bit because we need to change some things. Okay, we are sending, I think, upwards to $3 billion this year to Pakistan. I think we've been played like a very bad fiddle by Pakistan. We need to do something about that. Here, National Guardsmen and Reservists Parity Act. You know, how many people here served in the National Guard?